not a politician, don't believe in politics, but Russia says in years to come we'll all be Bolsheviks. They tell us funny Scotland a republic's going to be, except in Aberdeen and Glasgow, Greenock and Dundee. I always did believe in safety first, and mind ye, if the worst comes to the worst, oh, if Scotland turns republic, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll wear a spur round my neck, it'll look like whiskers on a Bolshevik. I'll be known as Will McFyffe when myself I introduce. If Scotland turns republic, I'll buy a public house. I'll have to go to Moscow just to spend a couple of days, to pick the Russian language up and get into their ways. It'll come in very handy when I get behind the bar. Then I can say things to them in their own vernacular. The whiskers I've got on they'll have to watch, but I'll tear them off and tell them off in Scotch. Ah, if Scotland turns republic, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll tie a spur round my neck, it'll look like whiskers on a Bolshevik. I'll be known as Will McFyffe when myself I introduce. If Scotland turns republic, I'll buy a public house. Can you imagine me settling down in a public house in a place like Aberdeen? I've got to settle up in Glasgow first. Here I can just picture myself behind the bar with a lovely set of lace curtains, throwing bombs at the barmaids instead of kisses, eh? And the 5 years plan too. Have you heard about that bullshit idea? Work 5 years for nothing. I can see a Scotsman doing that for a start, especially in Aberdeen. But wait till I get my public house. I'll close what time I like, skate. And when I've had one over the 8 will I cause any trouble and strife with the wife, skate? Not on your life, skate, Mr. Fyffe. I'll be too busy with the whiskey and the beard, skate. You know, I don't know much about this Bolshevism, but they talk about doing away with the kings and queens. Doing away with the kings and queens? What are they going to do with the aces and the jacks? But you know where I got my idea? I was listening to one of those teetotal spouters the other night in the park, and he was shouting, "Down with the drink." That gave me the idea of buying a public house. That's where they put it down. And mind you, it'll come in handy for the Bolshies, because I hear they're very fond of fighting, and a man that's fond of fighting's always fond of drinking. So you see, whatever happens, I'll be all right. Or if Scotland turns republic, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll tie a spur round my neck, it'll look like whiskers on a Bolshevik. I'll be known as Willie McFyffe when myself I introduce. If Scotland turns republic, I'll buy a public house. I'll buy a public house.